Alright, we'll be reviewing Dubhe Imperial Black IPA-uinta Brewing. Pretty fancy bottle. Kind of like this bottle design. It's one of Uinta's better looking ones. Not much on here, just ale brewed with hemp seed. It's 9.2% alcohol by volume. It's an Imperial Black IPA, I presume, that's what it says on the bottle. So we'll crack this open and see if it's any good. I've never had this beer before, but I do enjoy Uinta's products. Uinta's a pretty fine Utah brewery. Thicker head than the double bock I reviewed last night. Very thicker head. I think it's pronounced Dubhe, but I could be wrong. The Dubhe brewed with hemp seed Imperial Black IPA. Fairly thick head, very thick head. You get the very hoppy, malty smell from most Uintas. Get slight chocolate. It's very dark, very amber up to the light. Smells like a pretty good. It smells pretty good. Mind me if the camera angle's a little screwy. I haven't recorded in this spot before. You detect the smell of chocolate. Chocolatey. It's fairly bitter. Like a lot of Uinta's brews are bitter. It's actually well balanced though, so the bitterness isn't overpowering like in most beers. I think this could be just a tad bit colder, but it's got a very citrusy, fruit-like note. Very citrusy, fruit-like note in it. Chocolate comes to the top. It's got a very thick mouthfeel, very thick. Then it finishes off dry at the back of the palate. But this is actually a pretty good beer. It's got a very good floral arrangement on the taste, and then citrusy, a little bit of chocolate, dark chocolate, very dark chocolate, roasted malts. For being 9.2% alcohol by volume, that does not seem to really have much of an alcoholic bite. This is a pretty good beer. I think this will probably move up to one of my favorites, the Uinta wine. But this Dubhe, it's pretty tasty. It's a little bitter, but it's well balanced for being as bitter as it is. Yeah, very jet black appearance, but when you get it to the light, it almost looks amber. Yeah, it's a bit bitter. I think it could be just a tad bit colder than what it is now, but I definitely give this probably an A for the style. It's pretty good. It's a little bitter, but that's what to expect for a 9.2%er. A local liquor store just started carrying this, and I figured I'd buy a bottle and give it a shot. Have to say it's pretty good for a Imperial Dark Lager, I believe. An Imperial Black IPA, sorry. Yeah. An Imperial Black IPA, brewed with renewable power, ale brewed with hemp seeds. So they say it's somewhat of an ale. Brewed by Uinta Brewing, Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. This one's a little old. Huh. Oh well. 9.2% alcohol by volume once again. This one's a little old because it says best before 12/21 of 12, so it's a little over 2 months old. But it's not bad. I think it could be a little more colder than when I drank it out. But golly, that's a good beer. It's a little bitter, but very good lacing too. It's a little bitter, but it's well balanced. It's not overpowering. Yeah, I'd definitely give it a 90, 93. Somewhere in between there. An A. It's almost got a funny strawberry chocolate taste to it, which is interesting. Oh, there we go. Now that I'm getting into it, I'm tasting a little coffee too. A little bit of coffee on the back. Now that I'm getting into it and those flavors have unlocked, you kind of get the citrusy strawberry smell. Yeah. Actually, I take that back. It's not strawberry. It's more of a fresh rose and summer smell. Interesting for a beer being this strong. Yeah. Now that I'm getting into it, it's starting to taste much like coffee. Look at that lacing, though. That's good lacing. That's a very good lacing. This beer isn't even really that cold either. It needs to be a little colder, but it's not bad. The lacing on it's pretty excellent. Good lacing. Good amount of head. I didn't really pour this as hard as I usually do either. But by golly, this is a pretty good beer. Very excellent and well-rounded flavor. Because you get the floral hop bite. Then at the end it's like a coffee, dark chocolate, malty flavor. This is everything I look for in a beer, even though it's a bit bitter. It's not bad though. It's a wee bit bitter, so that kind of gives me a let back on what I'm going to give it, but I definitely give it a 90, 93, somewhere in between there. It's a pretty enjoyable product, like most of Uinta Brewing Company in Salt Lake City is. It's a pretty good one. I'm glad I got this. This is a pretty good beer. Well, as you can see, the lacing is excellent on this. It's not even really that cold either. Definitely a pretty enjoyable beer. I'll give the Dubhe Black Imperial a 93 out of 100 on the rate scale for me. Even though it's a little bit bitter. If it wasn't so bitter, I'd probably give it 100, but cheers, and I'll see you later.